Hello, and to an unusual video I'm going to do here today with my good friend Josh Loveridge of Stratton Studios, who's a big man in wax. And we want to talk about music moguls. And I bought some packs. I'm just confused. So, Josh, you're a player, you're a developer, you're a gamer, you're all those things together. First of all, music moguls, how does it work? How would you explain it?
The way I like to the way I like to think of Music Mogul is like, them classic tycoon simulators of old. So essentially it is, you take on the role of your own like record label. So you're trying to hire new talent, grow the existing talent to kind of build out your music kind of empire. Essentially, that's kind of like the US the I suppose the elevator pitch of the game. What does that actually consist of? It consists of, essentially opening packs and pretty much blending different artists together. So essentially, say for example, I can have three of one NFT and I can blend it up to the next level. So it's increasing that over, like, kind of crafting up and essentially building your roster of artists on your record label. And then there's a leaderboard side of it where people are kind of, competing against each other to get the best score essentially. So it's quite it's quite a fun little game. Each category has like, different leaderboards. So for example, there is like country, EDM, hip hop, pop and rock. Essentially, they're the categories, and each one has like a different leaderboard assigned to it. Currently, right now, the only ones that are actually out are the hip hop and the pop. And the rest of them are still like yet to be released. Essentially. But yeah, so there's a leaderboard, and pretty much people can, how like the points based on your artist that you have as part of your label, essentially. So there's a number of card rarities. So there's essentially, it goes from like 1 to 5 stars. So it's like common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. So the classic stuff you'd expect in games, essentially. And pretty much, yeah, you're crafting them up, trying to get your artist from a common all the way up to a legendary. And the more kind of, the higher level, the more rare it is, and obviously the more kind of, people will be after it essentially because they want to get a better score in the power score, which is like the leaderboard essentially. So it's kind of it's an innovative new little title by Wax Studios, and they are obviously it's very still early on, but it's doing cool things.
Which is good for players, of course. So you haven't missed the boat. So you said only a number of the categories have been released already. There's some that have yet to be released.
Yeah, exactly. So so if I hop in and share my screen,
Well, that'd be amazing.
so you can see here, this is the website essentially. This is the website pretty much. So the way it works is, if I don't have any packs currently because I've opened all mine, but essentially, if you have a pack, you'd come to the open packs tabs, you'd open your pack. That's grand. You'll get like the pack will open. You will get, depending on the pack, like if you'd use the pop pack, that might be on Atomic Hub, that includes 25 artists. So you could get really lucky and get a legendary, or you could get, it depends what's in the pack essentially. But once you've got that, then your next kind of port to call would be probably to check your power score. So you can see in here your power score, based upon the pack that you've opened, to see, okay, who do I have? What's my score? So you can see the leaderboards here. The top guys have like, the top guys are doing well. You can see it all the way down, all the different players that are playing, and that goes across the different categories. So that's essentially how that kind of fits together on that front. Then once essentially you come down into, and the real meat and the bones is the Star Maker. So you can see here, the Star Maker, this is like where we're blending up or crafting or improving our artists' essentially skill level. So we've got hip hop and R&B. I picked up a few just to show how it works for today. So you can see the different categories. So we've got like busking beginner, bar gig battler, live show luminary, and then music video maestro. So these are all the different characters, different levels of essentially moguls. So pretty much if I go into pop here, you'll see there's a variety of options. and loads of options to pick from. And if I click go to shop on one of them, it'll essentially bring me to the aftermarket to get them. So I need 3 busking beginners of any one NFT to blend it up to the next level.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if I was to scroll down here, you can see I have some here. So for example, in this case, Bruno here, I have 3 of his busking beginner NFTs. So if I select my assets that I have, so if I select them all over here and I click craft, you'll see now that will.
Well, this is great because I was figuring how to do it. This is amazing.
And then it comes through. So you can see now I've got my next, I've got my new
bar gig battler now.
Yeah, he's a bar gig battler. So he's next level, essentially. And then that'll appear in my wallet, or I can view him in my wallet, or I can continue crafting, essentially, and keep improving his level, essentially, and keep getting him up. So the idea is to get him from a busking beginner all the way up to the legendary, essentially, with the 5 stars. That's kind of like the whole idea. So if I was to come in here now and go to bar gig battler and go to pop, you will see that if I scroll down, you can see now I've got one of them over here for Bruno. So for me to get him to a live show luminary, I need to get I need to acquire 3 more of them.
And you have to buy them? Is that the only way to get them at the moment?
Buy them or packs. So say for example, all right, say for example with this, I've got only one of Bruno here in the bar gig battler. So I'd probably say, all right, I'll just get a new pack, because ultimately, it's probably better. Or you can hyper target and go to the aftermarket and snipe specific ones. Now, the other key thing to notice is there's a chance on the craft ratio too. So that's very important to keep into consideration. So say once you get up to the higher levels, so for example, if I go back and go up to say up here, you can see you always want to make sure that either it's 100% chance or whatever it may be, just to make sure that you're not gonna get done out of anything there. All of them are 100% right now, but that may change in the future because it's obviously there for a reason. It's but as you can see, you need all of them. It's about blending it up and really getting your power score to be as high as it can be, and that's kind of essentially where it is. And
do you send your artists out to sing in places or anything? Is there that kind of function, or?
That's not built in yet, as far as I'm aware. Essentially, although I will note I've it's been a week or 2 since I've dived into it. But essentially, it's that is, as far as I know, they're automatically generated through the inventory. So you can see here it's pulling them all based off the inventory. So it's about crafting up. I think right now it's at like the prep stage where they're really prepping it before it all goes into their full thing. So it's like a tycoon simulator essentially, which is really cool. It's really nice and really nice artwork too. It's kind of in the very early stages. If you kind of look at where, for example, Blockchain Brawler started and then come all the way to where it's at now, you can kind of see the trajectory path that Wax Studios will probably push it down.
But Blockchain Brawlers, that's huge now, isn't it? And people are making money on it.
Oh yeah, Blockchain Brawlers, as far as I know, now let me just make sure I'm giving the right information here, but where is it? Cub Studios. Yeah, so Blockchain Brawlers has like generated like nearly 11.5 million since launch in March, so it's doing really well, and it's a really, really cool game. So yeah, this is the next kind of thing from Wax Studios. Really, really awesome little title here. And then essentially, any questions that are about it, you can come to the FAQ tab, and that kind of steps you through each level of the essentially of how it all works. So you can see here you've got all the different all of it notated. So it's still very early stage. You can pick the packs up right now, and there's the shop down here. So if I go to the shop, you can see the sales ended for these. So if I wanted to pick these up, I'd have to pick them up on the aftermarket. So like Atomic Hub, NFT Hive, Nifty Blocks, pick your poison of choice. And these packs contain 25 musical artists, and here's the chances that of like what you'll get in it. So you're more than likely going to get busking beginners, but you have a very small chance of getting stadium superstars, which are the ones everyone wants essentially. So there's a real nice element of chance there. It's quite nice, and there's, I suppose, the real thing I think is great about it is the level of polish and quality on the, like, when the packs are opening, when you're crafting, really nice, and looks great. And it's a really nice experience.
Brilliant. Well, I have to say thank you so much, Josh, because I opened my packs and thought, what do I do next? So now we know. And I say it's nice to know for people too as well. It's still early on, so it's not, you haven't.
Oh yeah, still very early on. Still, like, that Wax Studios have a massive trajectory path for everything they're doing, and kind of, they're one of the really ones to watch, really pushing ahead with everything they're putting out, because it's just so high quality. Really good. And it's exciting, and I think that's the really cool bit about any games like this, is that oftentimes, for big games, players can feel like they've missed the boat. And that they feel like, oh well, it's going to take so long to catch up on everything and to catch up to everyone else. Music Mogul's still at such an early stage right now that you haven't missed the boat. Essentially, you can still be up there with the best, because most people that play games want to do it because they want to be the best. They're not doing it to kind of settle, I suppose. So yeah, it's a really early stage game right now. Really nice NFTs too. I think that's the other important thing. And the thing I really like about all Wax Studios titles, in my opinion, is that just the amount of like lore, background story, and everything that they put into it all is just really good. Like, you get to follow along, and the posts that they're putting out on like the Discords are always great, really well thought out, really high quality graphics. It's just good. Like, you get to be part of the ecosystem. And they're always so responsive in their Discords too, which is one of the, it's not many. I always say it about Mike Rubinelli, like, there's not many guys on his part that will sit in a Discord and talk to everyone and respond to every query. Just so transparent, and it's something definitely to look at if you're interested in any of this sort of stuff.
Well, Josh, that is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go back and look at my packs and see what I can do with them. You made a lot of sense. Thank you so much for your time. Again, thank you. It's Josh Loveridge, who is the MD, CEO of Stratton Studios. Thank you.